Hello everyone, my name is Sahil Jain and today I will be presenting my thesis on representation learning of Indian legal documents, which is guided by Dr. Saptarshi Ghosh. First, we will start with the problem statement, and what it actually means is we want to learn a representation, example an embedding of an Indian legal documents in the form of real value vector, because the computers only understand numbers, hence we will try to get the embedding of a sentences or a document. Now, for representation learning, many transformer-based language models like BERT, Roberta, Longformers, etc. have achieved impressive results. However, they does not perform well in legal domains like Indian legal law. Now, why they does not perform well? Because the general models are trained on huge data of general English corpus like Wikipedia text and children's storybooks. Hence, they lack domain-specific knowledge. The second reason is the Indian legal documents contains long and complex sentences with terms and phrases that are unique to Indian law. Thus, there is a need to develop a language model specific to Indian law to pursue many practical problems like document summarization, sentence labeling of the document, and document similarities. Now, we have done novelty of this work is we have done some domain specific preprocessing, which is like of about 53,000 Indian legal judgments, and introduced some useful tags in the preprocessing task, and we try to use these tags so the training can be done in a better way and the language model can be learned better. We introduced two language models in this work, and the models are the Indian legal word and the Indian law form, which to our knowledge are the first language models specific to Indian legislation. Now, we have also evaluated these models in three domain-specific downstream tasks. In all these tasks, our models perform better than the generic and the baseline models. The approach we are going to discuss is, we can see from the image what we are trying to do is, we are trying to feed the domain-specific corpora to the pre-trained language model, and we will extend its pre-training from the checkpoint. Now, the training corpora that we are trying to use is, we'll use 53,000 judgments from the Supreme Court of India from the year 1951 to 2017. The preprocessed Indian judgments, we have done some domain-specific preprocessing for these judgments, and then we will use some pre-training tasks like the mass language modeling and the next sentence prediction. Now we will introduce two language models, which is the first model is the Indian legal word, and this model is trained from the legal word SC, which is already pre-trained on a domain-specific corpora. This model is trained on a 12 GB of US and the European legislation documents. The second model we are trying to discuss is the Indian law former, which is trained from the long former. And why we have used the long former is because it is efficient in representing or embedding the long sentences in a better way, because it uses its own attention mechanism. It can process 4096 tokens at a time, whereas BERT can only process 512 tokens. Now, we have experimented and tried to evaluate this model for the three domain specific tasks, which is specific to Indian law. And then the first task is identification of rhetorical rules of sentences, and these rules are like the facts, the arguments, the ratio proportion, and what are the rules from the previous court, and what is the judgment by the present. Now we will see that on comparing this model with the other generic model and its baseline model, we can see that the Indian legal BERT performed better from BERT and its baseline model legal BERT. We can see a difference of 15% in the FN score for Indian legal BERT and 16% for Indian law former, which is a significant difference between the FN score. And for the second task, in which we can allow to fine tune last two layers of the models, and we can see that Indian legal BERT performed better than the BERT model by 5%. For the task 2, these task 2 and task 3 are the document summarization task, and these two tasks uses their own algorithm. The task 2 uses hyperlink algorithm, and the task 3 uses distance augmented sentence graph. And here we can see that the Indian law former for the task 2 perform better than its baseline model and the BERT model. The difference is not that significant, but still we can say that it performed better, and the domain specific training helped the models learn better. Similarly, the Indian legal BERT performed better in the ROGAL score than its baseline model, which is legal BERT. Now we can see the discussion. In this work, we have introduced two language models, Indian Legal Bird and Indian Law Form, the pretend language models for the Indian legal documents. We showed that the further pretending of generic models using the domain-specific corpora is crucial in applying it to the Indian law domain-specific task. Similarly, the Indian legal bird outperformed the generic bird and its baseline model from which it is trained in the identifying role in task 1, and whereas the Indian law former gave the best results in the task 1 task. So also the Indian law former gave the best result in the document summation task. Now we will end this document. Thank you. And the references are the major references for this work are presented here. Thank you.